Iowa has just received a commitment from 6'7", 250-pound offensive lineman out of Wisconsin. In my opinion, that's a big deal. In Jack Dotzler. And I wish this had dropped yesterday, quite frankly, but it did not. First and foremost, be sure to go to 247hawkeye.com. I haven't been writing as many articles lately, but I will soon get back to it. No doubt about it. Looking forward to that. Been doing a lot of videos and things of that nature. I'm going to try to comment on every commitment and give you guys my take on that, what's available on that player, and just give my eyes and their initial assessment right off the get-go, if you will. I want to thank you guys so much for your guys' support on the NHA podcast. It truly, I know I say it's been growing all the time, but I promise you that's the truth. And it's not, I'm not saying it to make my head big. I'm saying it to say thank you to you guys, you, the amazing fans. That's what I'm saying. So thank you. All right. Jack Dotzler. First, we have to comment on the fact that he is a Wisconsin native. And from what I've read, this dude is literally in between. He is literally in between Madison, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. But the reasoning for saying it was that he is close to Madison. On a side note, I've been in Wisconsin, I think twice. I've driven through it. And it's it's a lot of farmland. It is, and it's like Iowa in that way. I remember I drove for miles and miles and miles without seeing any semblance of an actual town or anything like that. And that might be an exaggeration. It was cold and musty. It was very rainy, kind of like Oregon and Washington, to be honest, which that didn't surprise me. So I've been through Wisconsin a couple times. Listen, folks, this is a big deal. Last year when TJ Ballers decided to go to Wisconsin, at first I didn't think much of it, because of how dang good Iowa did in that recruiting class. But upon second glance, if you're Wisconsin, I can see why. I can absolutely see why you would look at that and say, nice, or whatever. Yay. Because it is a big deal to go in the state of Iowa and not only get a state of Iowa kid, but a kid whose dad played for Iowa, and you live right down the road. I will say, with regards to him in particular, looking back, and I would comment on this all the time, that I didn't think he was going to go to Iowa because it seemed as though he was making every intention, such as, I don't care how far away I play football and things like that, from my hometown. He was doing everything to not play at Iowa. And so I just kind of decided, okay, he's not going to play for Iowa. And so that was a big deal for Wisconsin. But and he was a four-star guy and had many other offers, not just Wisconsin. Equally, Jack Dotzler is a big deal. Okay. I know he's not a four-star guy, but it is a big deal because He has the potential to be a 4-star guy. As we're going to see in a moment, he does have some pretty strong offers. I'm actually pretty shocked it took Iowa as long as it did to offer him. You know, sometimes Iowa, it seems like they have zero rhyme or reason to what they do. They just love shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to recruiting. You know, it's like, listen, dude, you have a 6'7" offensive lineman who moves really well. And he's in the state of Wisconsin, and you're going to wait how long to offer this kid? I don't think Wisconsin would get him even if they offered. I do think had Wisconsin decided to offer sooner, I do think it would have been, a tough choice for him. Because at the end of the day, everything is different when it is and when it is not. You know, when you have the Wisconsin offer or when you have the Iowa offer and you do not. So Iowa lands a high 3-star commitment from Jack Dotzler. And to be honest, he's the highest graded offensive outside of Carson Hinsman out of the state of Wisconsin. And I got to say, now that he had someone out of the state of Wisconsin has picked Iowa, I think it's going to make it that much easier for Carson Hinsman, 4-star offensive guard out of Wisconsin, to pick Iowa as well. It's hard to be the lone guy to step forth with the sword and say, I'm going to do this. Recruiting is a following sport. I've told you guys that many times. I remember, for those of you guys don't know, I played Division I water polo. When we were at UOP, we would recruit hard. And I remember we would leave some, official visit with whoever and feel immensely about our chances to be teammates with that guy. But he would always end up choosing, UCLA or Cal and end up following 2-3 other guys. Just how it is. Top guys follow other top guys. And if that were not the case, you would see more often guys say to themselves, okay, I want to play right away. And I want to play. So how about I go to a place that's going to value my talent? And let me go to a place where I am not behind 4, 5, 6, 7 guys who are exactly like me. It never ceases to amaze me when 4 and 5-star guys go to the same school as each other. It never surprises me because, or it does surprise me because, if you wanted to play right away, why not just choose the school that maybe it might not be a blue blood, but it's still a good school and you can play right away. Anyways. All right. This is a big commitment, folks, from Jack Dotzler. I think it's a big commitment. I really do. He is graded 87 by 247 Sports. He's the 9th best player in Wisconsin. For Iowa, it is a tougher year because they do not have solid in-state offensive line talent. Usually that's where they get their bones at, is their in-state talent on the offensive line. They don't have that this year, so they're gonna have to go out of state and get all their guys. All right, just real quick, looking at the top guys in the state of Wisconsin. Jeez, 3 of the guys in the state of Wisconsin are offensive linemen. 1 is a defensive lineman, and they have 5 4-star guys. That is pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. You know, and I think Iowa is going to land Andrew Keller as well, the tight end. I don't see why he wouldn't choose Iowa. I really don't. You know, I think he might look at Iowa State and say, you know, you got something going here. But I don't think it's going to happen with him. Not especially when his friend and teammate already chose Iowa. So, but we'll get to him in a second. If you look at Wisconsin, though, you know, it shouldn't surprise you that they did not offer Jack Dotzler. The top player in the state is an offensive tackle. Not to mention another guy that they offered is another offensive tackle. It's hard to take 3 offensive tackles in a class. You know, usually you take 1 or 2 offensive tackles and 1, you know, interior offensive lineman. All right, let's look, ladies and gentlemen, at Jack Dotzler. Let's take a look at him. Enough talking here. Let's see if, well, here it is. Oh, okay. We're not going to watch this ad. Let's read really quickly what they have said about this commitment, what it means for Iowa. You know, I got also really quickly. If you're an Iowa fan, and I am, I think you should be absolutely stoked on Iowa's recruiting class thus far. You have 2 defensive linemen and offensive linemen, and the 2 defensive linemen are high. You know, 1 is a high 3-star, 1 is a high 4-star. So either way, you're solid. You know, Caden Crawford, the high 3-star in most classes, would be the highest graded guy. And then you have a high 3-star in Jack Dotzler, who I think has a very, very solid chance of becoming a 4-star guy. All right. I want to break it down now. I've been speculating too much on this. I want to tell you guys what I think of his size, attributes, and things like that, and then we're going to be done. By the way, here's a video of Aiden Crawford doing his squat videos. By the way, folks, I don't care very much about recruiting. Just like the NFL draft, I don't really care. I like everything else but these things. But other people care about it, so I'll talk about it. Wow. He's repping that out, no problem. Wow. He's strong, folks. And he's 6'5". Iowa has some good athletes thus far in the recruiting class. All right. Iowa added its first offensive line commit in the 2020 class on Wednesday. Waunakee, Wisconsin, 2022 3-star offensive lineman Jack Dotzler announced via social media his commitment to the University of Iowa. Dotzler, who is listed at 6'7", 265 pounds, committed to the Hawkeyes over offers from Penn State, Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Indiana, Michigan State, and others. I think that's a pretty impressive offer sheet. And, you know, Caden Crawford had Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas State, Nebraska, and I think one more, and likely would have had much more had he not stuck with the Hawkeyes. You know, from Jack Dotzler, I've been really impressed with their family type atmosphere. Dotzler said, it really feels like everyone there is a brotherhood. It's a great culture. By the way, for those of you who are immersed and absolutely on the side that the allegations from earlier this summer are absolutely 100% true, then why do guys always make statements like this when it comes to Iowa's football? It's a great culture. I'm really impressed with that. I'm a huge fan, so it's kind of a dream come true to get this opportunity. I'm still kind of shocked at this point. There are a lot of monsters that have been produced at Iowa. I have two that have come to mind. The first is Brandon Scherf. The second is Tristan Wirfs. Wirfs has been my idol for the last couple of years. I know he's a newer guy that just left there, but I wear the same number as him as he played tackle at Iowa. Dotzler is the third commit in Iowa's 2022 class, joining Southeast Valley four-star defensive end Aaron Graves and Lansing, Kansas defensive end Caden Crawford. The offensive linemen that Iowa will also host on campus for official visits are Stillwell, Kansas Blue Valley three-star Nick Herzog, Lawrenceburg, Indiana three-star Ashton Craig, Hammond, Wisconsin, St. Croix, Central four-star Carson Hinsman, and Landon Livingston and Dalen Hazard. This is the first commitment the Hawkeyes have added with new offensive line coach George Barnett at the helm. Barnett was the main recruiter for Iowa with Dotzler. Listen, congrats to Barnett. I think it's a great start. I think it's a great start for him right off the get-go. I really do. And I think Barnett and Liddell Betts can both pick off where it was left from their predecessors. Because quite frankly, both of them did very well. With Derek Foster, I have some questions over the productivity of the running backs. But if you look at his recruiting and how solid he kept the running back room, he did a hell of a job. You know, landing high three-star out of the state of Iowa, and he was about to blow up. He already had an offer from Michigan in Gavin Williams, landing out of the state of Georgia, a very heavily recruited Tyler Goodson, and obviously more. All right, let's take a look at his frame, and I'll give you guys my my take on his skill. You know, I haven't read much on it thus far, but you know, and really quickly, let's see his offer sheet. Let's just take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Arizona State, Harvard, Iowa State, Michigan State, Penn State, Purdue, Vanderbilt. So SEC Big 10, Big 12, Pac 12. He had every conference offer him but the ACC. It's pretty impressive. I don't care that it's Vanderbilt. I don't care that it's Purdue. It doesn't really matter. You know, I look at what conferences have offered somebody, and I like to make a choice based on that. All right, let's look at his skill level. Yeah, this is I'm very happy about this, folks. I'm very happy. You know, while we wait for the video to load, listen, his frame, he's 6'7", he's got very long arms. I haven't seen him move, but based on his frame, I think you guys should be excited. He looks tall, he looks lean. You know, I need to see how aggressive he plays. Here we go. Getting some yak. That running back getting some yak. Dang. Finish that. Finish that. Jeez Louise. He drove that is 2 blocks in a row. One where he drove the guy 5 yards into the dirt, the next where he drove him 10 yards and then into the dirt. I know this is a highlight reel, but I'm looking for how he moves. Jeez. I mean, that I know, like I said, I know this is a highlight reel. And keep in mind, this guy is 6'7". He's got guys at this age are usually somewhat still clumsy because their muscles are still growing. And you know, he looked pretty explosive on that kick out block. Yeah, he's very athletic. I'm surprised he's rated only an 87, quite frankly. He is exactly what you look for in an offensive tackle. A good athletic base, long arms up top, and a nasty attitude. He's got a good round arse that you look for that as well. That's what the the Raiders GM would used to say, and he's right. He's right. I like this tight end too. I hope Iowa gets him. I think they will, and I think it'll work out for both of them fairly well. All right, couple more of these. Yeah, I just keep seeing finish block after finish block. And that's excellent. And, you know, his frame looks very athletic, and it could easily add weight to places that need it. No problem. And I don't see it affecting much of anything besides making them stronger. I mean, this running back has holes for days because his offensive line is just making a massive hole on the entire left side. Think about that, folks. Iowa might get 2 starting left tackles in a row out of the state of Wisconsin. You put effort in to places, and usually you get something out. And Tim Polasek put effort in to the state of Wisconsin, and he's gotten good effort out. Okay, that's it. Here we go. Trying to get out of here. Whoop. All right. Listen, folks, you know, I got to say, I think I just off the bat, I think at 6'7", 6'8", I think it's very possible he grows another inch, maybe half inch, whatever he's at. Says his arm length. Hold on here. That's his frame right now. Looks pretty good. Looked pretty good. He has broad shoulders. He has long arms. He has a good lower base. I think he looks great. This is a great pickup for the Hawkeyes. It's great. It's great not only because he's talented, and there was other competitors, but it's great because he's a good player. It was out of the state of Wisconsin. It'll probably include one more Wisconsinite. This is solid all around. In the article from The Athletic that ranked the top 10 guys for Iowa to get in the recruiting class, it had Jack Dotzler at like 9. I completely disagree with that. I think you could make several arguments for him to be one of the top 5 recruits that Iowa was trying to land in this 2022 recruiting class. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for listening. By the way, he is a solid 6'7". I have it right here. He weighs 264. He has 38.25 inch arms. He has an 80.75 wingspan. He can do 19 reps of 85 pounds. He runs a 5.5 40 yard, which is decent for his age. I kind of wish I could see his vertical leap because that shows vertical leap shows explosiveness for offensive linemen. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Dotzler commits to the Hawkeyes. Let's see if we can get a nice picture of this. I'm very excited. This is great for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Be excited. Show this kid some love. Remember, folks, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow and vouch for feelings because your feelings don't matter. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Be sure to watch the NHA podcast every Wednesday. See you guys then. Go Hawks.